especially offensively. I think the guys responded pretty well from pretty poor performance in the first half. So a good start to the week, and obviously big night tonight. Looking at the tape for the guys on their own, and then big practice tomorrow as always.
A topic you're going to love, but you probably saw that report about the wristbands. Mm-hmm. So did they have the wrong wristbands on for part of the game?
Yeah, no, we had a typo on one of our calls, and it only impacted one play in the game. And once we found out that there was a typo on there, we got it corrected. So, it's like anything, sometimes things happen, but guys got it corrected pretty quick. So
was that the 76-yard touchdown pass they had?
Had nothing to do with that play.
Got it.
When things are down, sometimes, guys tend to freelance a little bit or want to do too much, make more plays. How difficult is it to focus on your job? How much maturity does that take?
Well, I think it has more to do with what your attitude is. I thought our attitude was really good going into the game. Then, unfortunately, we let the scoreboard dictate our attitude, I think, offensively. Guys tried to press and do too much. And you just can't be successful that way. You're focusing on things that have nothing to do with how you have to perform. And some guys had to learn a valuable lesson, and most of them were veterans. They had never done that before, so that was pretty uncharacteristic, in my opinion, of them. Now, if they do it again, then we're going to have to make a change. You can't do that and expect to be consistent. And, I think they did a good job owning it, and we'll see where it goes.
Just generically speaking, what's the difference between trying to make a play and help your team and trying to do too much?
Well, just playing within the call, right? I mean, everything should work in theory, right? I mean, we don't call plays that we don't think are going to work. Although that might be contrary to popular belief. We believe that every play is going to work if we go out and do the things we're supposed to do. And you look at the game and, you look at our defense, and we plan to stop certain run plays, and all of a sudden they come out and run different ones. So after 2 series, I thought we settled in. But, that's part of the game. But especially offensively, I thought guys just try to do too much.
What is the message to the team this week? I mean, obviously another tough non-conference game with NIU coming in here.
Yeah, well, our focus is always on us. We're going to play good football teams. I mean, that's college football. There's no preseason games. There's no, hey, let's tune this thing up and get ready to go. At the end of the day, it's to me about us playing better football. And if we can do that, we'll give ourselves an opportunity to win. I mean, we're going to play outstanding. This is an outstanding team. There's no question about that. But, I don't think we play too many teams that aren't very good and aren't hungry to play against us. So it should be a real fun challenge and a very difficult challenge. It should be a lot of fun. That's the way you play college football.
Garrett Dickerson, was there any thought of playing him defensively, or was he recruited strictly offensively?
We recruited him as both, and he said he wanted to play superback, so that's where he's at.
With the two of them, I mean, Cam and Garrett, you have a group of brothers that are on this team together. Is that something that, when you look at a player and you see a talented younger brother, maybe it makes you want to recruit him more? Or?
Well, I'm always recruiting younger brothers. I mean, if I go in the house and there's a younger brother, we're going to go recruit that guy. So it's pretty neat that those guys have ended up having great high school careers and then, onward to end up being here. But I think it's a testament to our program. I think, number one, it's the honesty in recruiting. It's then we back up what we tell the guys. I saw earlier in the year that there were some quotes that a coach said, well, you just lie in recruiting. I don't know anything about that. I think you're just honest and you're truthful, and you tell people how it is. And then, when you have a brother in the program, obviously, I think that solidifies that trust, from an honesty standpoint. So, I think it's something that's been a long history here. I mean, I'll go back. I played with the Musso brothers, the Burton brothers. There's been a lot of brother tandems that have been here, part of our program, and I think that's something that's pretty special.
Cam said yesterday that Garrett was a Big Ten recruit, Cam wasn't, and he said he never expected to play Big Ten football, that he thought his level was going to be Ivy League.
Is that Cam?
Cam.
Yeah.
What did you see in him that made you think he could play at this level?
Well, he played incredibly hard, and he did a lot of things well on tape. Great student, great fit to the program. I mean, we've obviously had really good success there, with Bergen, and it's one of the powerhouse programs traditionally in the country. A great fit for what we're trying to recruit, and he's a great family, and it's just two unbelievably great parents, and just a great family unit around the guys. And I think he's since he's got on the scene, he's really been a productive player for us, and he's played really hard not only on offense but also in the kicking game.
How do you keep recruiting different? I mean, like when you have one of the older brothers, how do you make sure that younger brother feels like theirs is individual experience?
Yeah, no, that's a great question, Jordan. It's usually used against you in recruiting. Don't you want to go be your own man? Don't you want to go do your own thing? And I never had a brother, so I look at guys and I tell them, think about when you're 40 years old. Do you want to have your experience be unique to your brother, or do you want to have shared experiences that you guys will be fat and sassy talking about? Now, remember this, remember that. I mean, you got to look at it. What do you want out of this? And I'm not going to ever try to convince a guy that, hey, you should play with your brother because your brother's here. You should play with your brother because this is the right fit for you. And the added bonus to that is you get to play with your brother, and your family gets to come watch one college football game instead of maybe your mom going somewhere in the country and your dad going somewhere. If you have that kind of family unit, every Saturday they get to come and be a part of it. And that's something really unique and special that very few guys get the opportunity. I mean, think about how special that is. Let alone have one Division I football player, two in a family, and then to have them play together. I mean, that's really something special and significant, especially at a school like ours academically. I mean, how about the kudos and the high fives of those parents for raising kids that are just unbelievable, and young men that are pretty darn special. So it's pretty unique.
Maybe it also adds some natural competition too. That competition between the brothers when they get here.
With Cam and Garrett?
Yeah.
No, they talk way too much about them. I mean, like it's like Batman and Robin. But sometimes some of the brothers, I think Nate and Q Williams were pretty competitive with each other. But you guys remember being in college. I mean, your freshman year peer group that you come in with are pretty much the group that you stay pretty close friends with for the next 4 years and hopefully for the rest of your life. So when you got an older brother here, you're not necessarily really close with necessarily that group of guys initially. So, you get your own group, of friends and kind of go from there.
You're looking for more from your punting game, I assume. I heard Chris punted well in the spring. What do you...
Yeah, I mean, who was at practice today? I mean, he punted the crap out of the ball today. Again, he had a bad day. Unfortunately, he had 4 or 5 punts into the wind. He had 3 bad snaps, and that were unacceptable. So I expect that he'll be fine. I really do. He's punted the ball well. He punted the ball well all through camp. So I feel pretty good about where he's at. He's just got to perform on Saturday, and if he does that, then I think we'll be pretty good about our punt game.
What's made Northern Illinois successful in a national stage as opposed to just MAC stage?
Well, I think consistency, Chris. I mean, I think they've really done a nice job consistently winning football games. I think they've gotten themselves into obviously 4 championship opportunities from a conference standpoint. So that then gives you that opportunity when not everybody's playing to have the focus on you in that weekend. And they've won 2 out of 4 of those games, if I'm not mistaken, and then they get a chance to get on the national stage and play in the BCS game because of the conference championship success. So I think the consistency and then getting that game gives you an opportunity then to be nationally recognized.
A lot of programs like that, you see one coach that builds them up and then he leaves to another job and then it kind of fizzles out. They went from Novak to Kill to Doran and now to Carey and had the same success. Just how is that sustained? Obviously, you mentioned the consistency, but how is it sustained through different coaches?
That's a great question for Rod. I have no idea. I mean, it's a good question, but they've done a fabulous job. We're close with their staff. They do a really good job, and they've played very well. It's going to be a fun challenge for us, a hard challenge, but it's going to be a fun challenge, no doubt.
Kind of thought of this after the Cal game when you talked about there's no preseason in college football, and Big Ten's going away from scheduling 1AA opponents. Would there be any movement, or would you be in favor of scheduling like a Division II opponent or something like that in some sort of preseason type element or atmosphere?
Well, that would be cool, but that's not going to happen. I mean, honestly, that would be really cool. I mean, I'd love to call Coach Cat and let's have a little scrimmage with Lake Forest College. We'll go, we'll exchange some guys and go. And other. I mean, it's unbelievable. Our Olympic sports get to do that. They get a non-conference season. I mean, I'd rather do it in spring ball. I'd love to have a scrimmage in spring. But then again, what would happen is we just have to answer questions on why we gave up touchdowns in a spring scrimmage, and guys would get fired after the spring game. I mean, that's what. I mean, right? I mean, so I strongly doubt there'll be a national agreement that we should have another game that we get evaluated by. I mean, I'm just calling it like it probably would be. But with the way things are medically right now, I think we're pretty close to the tipping point from a volume of games. I'm more concerned about that. I mean, to add games and not add football scholarships to me, I think is something that really needs to be thought about and really needs to be evaluated, from a standpoint of, giving more football players an opportunity. I mean, we're really, I think, as a sport, we have 112 guys, and everybody says, wow, you have so many on your team. It's all 4 levels. And, it's that needs to be evaluated. You play, especially I think it has to be looked at now for those teams that play championship. I mean, you got a team that's going to play in a conference championship game, a national semifinal, and then the championship game. that's going to be a heck of a run. I mean, you look at hockey, you see those players after they make it to the Stanley Cup Finals and they play those 7-game series. I mean, they're cooked. I mean, I really think the NCAA's got to evaluate that, but they got a laundry list of things they got to fix. So let me just add one more to their plate.
Hey, Coach, given a flat start last week, is any change in the way you're coaching them or the message or the process or riding them harder this week or anything like that?
Well, I disagree with the flat start. I mean, we went on a 10-play drive offensively and tripped and fell down on 4th down. And we've got 2 third-down situations and a 4th down to get off the field. So I don't think we started flat. I think we responded poorly when we went down 2 scores. So that's a little bit maybe the way that I see it and the way that I saw it on film. Because we moved the ball. I mean, we shoot. And I don't know how long that one drive was that they had to open the game, but we had plenty of opportunities to get off the field. So I think we need to start faster. There's no doubt about that. But I don't think they were flat. I just don't think that they responded well when we gave up a couple scores. All right, guys. Thanks. Have a